especially when you get out in the world, man, you get to meeting people. And when you talking to them, you start asking questions, and you
Yeah,
get into this black hole of thought, expression, conversation, and I absolutely love it, man.
I
I
appreciate
absolutely
that,
love it,
man.
and through them and that conversation and in
Hmm.
meeting them in those moments, bro, it's I don't know, brother. Something about your ambition just shines. And then when you tell the stories about that experience, I
Hmm.
just hear what's natural to you. I hear what's natural to you. And I can't explain that. I don't think anybody can explain that. But that is the ambition that I used to die wanting to see and hear from other people.
Hmm.
You know, it's hard for me to explain it, but
No,
I appreciate it, man. It's a
I,
beautiful thing.
I,
Go ahead though.
I
Though.
love that.
So
You know what I mean? Yeah, sorry.
no, I want you to tap back into it, bro. I want you to tap back into it. So
So
she was just saying she didn't want to be where she was.
yeah. She didn't want to be.
Okay.
I was like, how is it that you know what I mean? Like me personally, like I struggle if I don't have a passion for it. If I'm not feeling it, I I I I, I can't I can't get myself to fully commit to just say fuck it, you know what I mean, and just go hard like that. I mean, I know I can, but it won't be an enjoyable experience for me. So I was like, how is it that you do that?
Yeah.
Where is it if you're not passionate about these things? How is it that you're just saying you're doing it, becoming successful, opening businesses? And she's like, it's just I didn't want to be where I was. I didn't want to be broke. I didn't want to be struggling. I didn't want to be. That was enough for me to you know what I mean. And I told her I was like, damn. And then I was like, it's crazy because not having all that stuff that made me hate money. So I couldn't use money as a motivation. Like I need to get this money because I fucking hated my relationship with it. Was just like I hate this thing. It's causing so much just just negative experiences. I don't enjoy this. She was like, you can't think of it like that because how can you hate something you never had? So I was like, fuck, you're right.
Yep.
You know what
You
I
hated
mean?
the idea you had for something.
Yep. Yep.
That's all it
And
was. It was the idea.
yep. And I was like, okay. And I was like, so how is it that you have these passions? But then she told me, you know, her drive was just not wanting to be where she was. And I was like, okay, I got to figure that out. She was like, what do you like? What do you enjoy? What is it that's what's your thing? And I was like, all I know is the only thing I'm good at, and the only thing that really fills me with passion is music. And I don't have enough product to even push that. You know what I mean? I don't have. She was like, did the same shit you do, bro. She was like, what do you have one song? And I was like, yeah. She was like, well, there
She
you
got
go,
in that
boom.
ass.
Yeah, bro.
She
And
got in that ass.
she was telling me, she was like, all right. I was like, can I get your number? Boom, boom. She was like, all right, but don't be mad. I'm gonna give you tough love. Don't be mad when I boom, boom, boom. Don't be mad when I this. And I'm like, nah, I honestly appreciate
But
that
you
because
need that.
exactly. Um, but yeah, so boom. So she was just like telling me all these things, and it made me realize I'm like, I apologize a million times, bro. I was like, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to hold you. I don't mean to. She was like, no, you don't apologize. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I just want to thank you because not anybody in your shoes would take the time to sit down and talk to me like this. You know what I mean? You're over here, you're a millionaire. You know what I mean? Anybody else would have been like, oh, just go on. If they even give me anything, they'll probably be like, you know, go on YouTube and look up this or do this. You know what I mean? I'll see you later. I have clients. She was meeting clients while I was there and I was still there. And she was meeting clients coming back to me, coming back to me, coming back to me. And I was just sitting on the floor, just listening to her and just talking to her. And she was like, and it made me realize, and I was like, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You're making me realize that no matter how many questions I ask you, it's not a how-to. That's not what I'm looking for. A how-to isn't gonna get me shit. It's a mentality that you really need to adapt. It's not about how do I do this, how do I do this. Now that I have the answers, what the fuck am I gonna do with it? It's a mentality. And that's what that's why I was like, okay, that's why it's because I don't have that mentality. It's because I can't, even though I'm not passionate about something, I can't still do it. You know what I mean? I don't have that mentality. And that's what I need to do is I need to be like, you know, and that's what I've been working to is just doing and enjoying while I'm doing because now when I'm waking up in the morning and when it's not about how do I feel today. No, however I'm gonna feel, it's I'm gonna feel good if I'm doing something, if I'm working towards something and I'm in doing, then how do I feel will come naturally. You know what I mean? And I won't have to ask myself because I'll then feel good because I'm doing the shit I gotta do. So it's not about waking up it's get up, do your shit, and you will feel good because you're doing your shit.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful
It's
thing.
a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I'm just happy you putting in some work, man. I'm
Yeah,
happy you
man.
putting in some work. The one thing you already know, you've heard it from me 1,000 times. I need that from people. I
Mm-hmm.
need that from people. Otherwise, I'm gonna give you the same energy you give me.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as what I got going on, we not that's not up for discussion.
Yeah.
So uh, it has to be like that for a very, very, very strong reason. It's a principle of mine. And the same, I think, with you and meeting people and having these conversations. I think you have to meet people. You personally have to meet people and have these conversations so you can become more aware of who
Mm-hmm.
you are.
In life, you have to experience and learn. You know what I mean? And you can put a lot of the lessons you learn into yourself, into your awareness. Um. So yeah, man, that happens a lot whenever I'm exposed to like, which is strange because I'm in, I'm good at socializing, but I'm the biggest. Like, if there's a lot of people, if I'm in a social setting, I'm in a cut, bro. I'm in a room, or I'm not lively. I'm just by myself. I don't like going out. I don't like, but I can be very social when when I'm talking to someone, and when it's like one on one or maybe something like that. But I'm not. I'm very introverted, man. But it's a lot of the experience I get that I enjoy in life is with other people.
Now, why do you think? Uh, why do you think is that way? When you're in large settings, you'll kind of be that guy that's at the bar or at the club, posted on the wall, just chilling. Why do you think that is?
I don't know, man. I don't like a lot of people. Like I don't know, dude. It's the most uncomfortable thing to me, man. I don't want to be there. I do not want to be there. I just
All
want to
right, but what
be
about not? I mean, sorry to cut you off,
no, no.
but what about environments that you do want to be in, where you can still find yourself in that similar situation or um,
If I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
emotional environment,
Like somewhere I want to be that there's a lot of people, or
somewhere that you want to be where there's a lot of people, and you find yourself going into the fading into the background, so to speak.
okay. Um, I don't know where that would be. Somewhere I want to go where there's a lot of people that I'll still fade to the background.
Let's do our due diligence. What's a lot of people to you, bro? I don't want to start throwing examples out there. I don't know what a lot of people
Ah,
is to you.
so that's a good question. About 6 feet.
Probably about 6 feet. I think it's about 6 feet.
um, uh, it could be like 5, 6 people. Like once it starts getting like, yeah, I think like 5 people is becoming a lot.
In what environment would you find that many people? Uh, Maybe like a birthday party. What about a birthday party?
Yeah, birthday. I was just at one the other day for one of Mario's little nephews, and yeah, I was in the
So would
cut, man.
you was off in the cut? Why
Yeah,
do you think
man.
that is? Did you know everybody,
Yeah,
or know at least know of everybody?
yeah. I don't know, man. I was actually with the kids, and I think it's because it's just I don't know. I'm not gonna put this false idea because it could be a false idea. It could just be my misconception of social settings. But it's I feel like adults just I don't know, man. They're definitely more guarded than children are. So I was just chilling with the kids, you know what I mean? And I could just, be more relaxed. But I don't know.
Really
I
quick,
didn't
what does guarded mean? What does that mean?
I guess
What is parents
they're conscious.
or adults could be a little bit more guarded? What does that mean to you?
Yeah, they're conscious of how they would like things interactions to go. So if an interaction goes less than uh enjoy not saying that I'm gonna bring a negative interaction, but or that I might but just I don't know, bro. Like just simple conversation. It's just like I don't want to have to. Sometimes my social battery isn't there, so I don't want to have to engage in a conversation that I'm not, and I don't want to have to pretend anything. So if when I'm around kids, I could just fucking look at them, watch them laugh, come up with a
I,
conversation that I have to.
oh, go ahead.
No,
Go
that's
ahead.
it. That's really it. Like yeah.
Yeah, I like that, but
Want
what I
more, right?
often find, yeah, absolutely, brother. Like,
What were you gonna say?
and
Were you? Uh,
uh, of course, like the things that I ask you to paint a picture, and sometimes those pictures can be vivid, and sometimes, like you say with me, I don't. It's not clear. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give you a little bit of information because the
no.
rest of the information is definitely going to
Yeah.
mess
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
of
Yeah. Yeah.
your ideas or concepts of your own beliefs. So
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
not do
Yeah.
that
Yo,
because I
yo,
want
take
you to
away
have your
my
own opinion on things.
yeah, my Santa Claus of something. Yeah.
Right. And I'm not
Yeah.
trying to do that. Have your own.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, do you think that you are kind of projecting yourself onto these other people, and those people may not know how to interact with you either? Because like I can't give you the full me because you are not going to receive that well. Like us in general,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
took
Yeah.
you eons to like warm up to the type of person that I am.
Yeah.
And for us to even talk like this
Mm-hmm.
to begin with. So do you think those people could have that in their heart as well? Like, because not everybody, especially around kids, you got to watch what you do, watch what you say. So, do you think those people feel like they can't like be themselves entirely, not only around kids, but in that environment? So when they talk to another adult, such as yourself, that they can't, be themselves 100% because of it's kind of an unwritten social contract that will behave in a certain manner, you know,
Yeah.
outside of our homes that's socially acceptable. And we can let ourselves be ourselves, but it's only to a degree.
Mm.
And there's so much that's, unacceptable right now. They don't know how you're going to react to them making dark humor jokes
Yeah. Yeah.
or,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. Do you think you are projecting that onto them? And then as a consequence, that aura fills up the room or that aura fills up whoever's like closest to you and they bounce it back. Like they
Yeah.
reciprocate that energy.
That's possible that we could be playing table tennis with like
Ping pong, yeah.
unconsciously. Yeah, ping pong. But I don't often honestly, bro, what it is just a social battery that I don't have. Like there's times when I'm there in the same setting and it's it's a better time. It's a more enjoyable time and we can all laugh and whatever. But there's also times where I love the purple in the background, bro. It looks so nice. There's also times where I don't have just a social battery and I just want to be alone, man, and I'm in a social setting. So I try, and then whenever I'm in that place, people tend to think that I'm upset or I it's strange. Like either I don't know. But I don't really care about what people think. That's why I'm avoiding it in the first place. It's like because I just want to be alone. But it's just I don't know. I don't know how to explain it really.
Do you think you being in the places that you're in can benefit the mood or your
Experience? Yeah.
not the
Oh.
experience, but the
Mm-hmm.
perception of what you believe regarding whatever it is that you experience? So whatever has you in that mood, whatever has your social battery down or drained, do you think you being in that environment and the people there can contribute to giving you that extra 15-20% of that battery
Yeah.
just to make it through the event until you get home?
That's a possible. That's 100% a possibility. And has that ever happened to me, Reese? Let me think of a time where that's probably happened to me. I noticed a thing because um I can't think of a time when it's happened to me though, but I know that that's possible. Because often whenever I just don't have that energy, that battery, it's just like I'm really just not. It's really hard to fill me up with energy. It really is. Unless I literally just have to do it. I literally have to do it myself, man. I have to just get by myself and just like, okay, kind of like, yeah, just charge and yeah. But I know it's possible for that to happen. I'm in the idea, and I'm sure maybe it's happened to me, but not that I can think of. But yeah, man, yeah. Because
Well,
there's
how much
times.
time do you think you?
Mm,
What?
no, 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 just like there's times where when you're sad and you're crying and somebody, makes you feel better, happy, and it brightens up your day. So that's, a sense of energy being replenished. But what were you saying? How much time, what does it take
How
to
much time do
recharge?
you give yourself? Well, no, no, no. How much time do you give yourself to replenish that battery? Because this isn't the first time we talked about social batteries or just batteries of the day,
Yeah, yeah.
and just in batteries in general. This ain't the first time we talked about that. Now
Mm-hmm.
I remember me telling you a little something about how I treat, the percentages of that battery
Mm-hmm.
and how
Yeah.
I divvy that up. And I know you got a way, whew, you have more social things going on than I do, so I don't have
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
worry
I
about
see.
that draining a lot of
Mm-hmm.
my battery.
Mm-hmm.
So how much time do you think you give yourself
To replenish?
to
If
replenish? To sometimes, replenishing the battery means getting it back on up to 70% because everything past 70% can't be gotten
yeah,
for
yeah,
quite
yeah,
some time. That takes a
yeah.
little bit more time. You maxed out at 70%, and then the longer it takes for you to refresh the entire battery, it knocks down. Now your max is 60. Now your max is 50. And then you burnt out. You're relying on speed. You're relying on coke. You're relying on coffee. You're relying on
Mm-hmm.
substances. And sometimes, people do it in relationships as well with another people. With another person, you rely on other people to kind of take the 50, 60, 70%, whatever it is that you lack in your battery. You start taking it from them. So yeah. So how often would you give yourself?
Like you said, man, I got a lot of social components, so it can take anywhere from weeks to months. But
God, God
it
damn.
but that's because I have a lot of social, like, there's times where I'm often forced to be out there, you know what I mean? So it's like uh
Be out there in them streets,
in the street
hustling,
guys. But
hustling hard.
if it was up to me, it'll probably take just a couple days. A couple days for me to figure out, okay, boom, 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 assess something, recalibrate, and then get back out there. But
So,
yeah.
really quick, with the idea of force, what do you mean by that?
Um
Like, are people forcing your hand? Is your back against the wall? You force my hand. Like, what's up? What's up with that?
uh so it can take, what was I gonna say? Oh, okay, so boom. Whenever my social battery is down, I'm not around family. I'm not around, like, Mara's the only person that gets to see me, and that's probably not even by choice, bro. So it's like yeah, man. I'll be like, and Mara gets like this too. Um, but yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's it's she has a family that, and I'm often with her, or whenever she has to go somewhere or whatever, I'm often the one that's, I just need to accompany her, man. It's like I can change that, I can change that, but that's not going to be a enjoyable it's an uphill battle, which probably would need to be done anyways. But anyways,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're just fighting the inevitable because
yeah,
both of you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
are adults and
Hmm.
have your own individual social batteries that will one day have to be talked about and
Yeah, yeah.
replenished 100%. Because who knows if you guys haven't had the conversation, not to get into or speak on that,
Hmm.
but I would suggest to you if you're feeling that way, who's to say that she's not feeling that way? You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So that might be a conversation you guys need to have, or may not. Um, Appreciate you for letting me speak on that.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
No, no,
put
no,
that
bro.
piece,
This is good
but
too, cause
her energy is your energy as well, man. You got to
mhm.
protect that as well.
Yeah, I agree. Mhm.
I feel like you explore the experience a lot,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
just the human experience, man.
It's the most enjoyable thing for me, man. And when when I'm reminded that, oh shit, it's not about the gas bill. It's not about why my face look like that, why my nose is crooked. You know what I mean? It's about, dang, it's about all of this. It's about it's about, I don't know, man. It's just a beautiful thing whenever like I said, man, whenever I get into like whenever it often happens when people die in my life, God forbid. But then I'm reminded like, wow, I know why I'm here. It's to forget that I'm here and it's gonna end. You know what I mean? So it's like it's yo, Jeff makes me laugh. And I remember when Jeff did this and it was hilarious and we was dying, and when we was here, or I remember when Mario was this, I remember when this was this. They made me forget that what this place was. So I enjoy when I'm here, but when I forget what really here is. And but that's what being here is. It's all of that. So when I can enjoy an experience, and I guess that comes from me being like introverted in the way that I am, is that I'm so trapped in my mind. So whenever I have these outside experiences and I'm experiencing, it brings a fire. It makes me alive again, and I'm like, oh, like it's this is a beautiful thing, man. I want to have more of these things, and I want to be more out there, or whatever the case is. But I don't know, man. It's less of, because back in the day it was thoughts. Let me have all these thoughts. I have all these thoughts and all this, but I wasn't really out there. Now that I'm really out, it's like a child. When you're a child, man, and you think. You think McDonald's is the biggest place in the world, man. You think your room looks so massive, everything. And when you get out there, it's like, oh, when you start seeing these things. So I was trapped in my mind, and it was the biggest thing in the world. And but now that I'm out here, it's like, oh man, my perception of a lot of things are it's completely skewed. But that's enjoyable for me. I'm
It
sorry.
sounds like no, 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 no. No. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the opportunity to hear it, dude. 'Cause, I think a lot of times well, not a lot of times, but recently you've been over, and forgive me for saying this and maybe speaking out of pocket, but it
Mm,
seems from my perception, you've been over encumbered with a lot of activities, a lot of events, a lot of tasks, a lot of
mm-hmm,
responsibility. And it's hard for me to, I don't know, be present and hear you talk about this. As in, like, when you are present, you don't speak about this, or at least recently in the past couple of months. So I'm honored to
mm-hmm.
hear it. But it sounds like you're determining how big your world is and how big it can be.
Yeah.
I think that's I
And
think that's what it sounds like to me.
no, it's that, but it's also the knowing of, oh, like we've had the discussion of what is a man, you know what I mean? And I never felt related to just I never related myself to being a man, or so, because I always felt like a child, man. But with that came the mindset that the world was happening, and I didn't have much control over it. The world was this, and I was at the world's will, um which it's not too different, now. But in a way it is, because I was under that child mindset. When you're a kid, your parents decide this, if you have parents. But it's it's now it's like, oh, I can really choose my fate. Like, I really can do that. And I can really choose what I enjoy, and what I want to do and how I want to feel. And I think a lot of people, maybe I'm speaking, but I think a lot of people get caught up in that, and forget that, no, bro, you choose your fate, man. It doesn't have to be this way all the time, you know? And yeah, for me, it was that I forgot that I could be in control and still enjoy being in control, opposed to being afraid of being in control. Because what if I'm in control now? I'm to blame if things go south. So now I'm not as afraid of being in control and leading, because I have faith that I'm gonna lead myself in the right direction. And if I don't, well, at least I experienced what I wouldn't have experienced if I chose to be afraid of being in control. Um, and yeah, so I guess that's where I'm at now.
Probably need to, let that marinate for a little bit. A lot of people can relate to that for sure. Uh, two questions.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think it took for this belief to happen? And then, do you think you were always to blame?
Not all the time, no. But I
Like,
also, sorry, what were you gonna say?
go ahead. No, go ahead. I was just going to say it relates. That question relates to what you were saying earlier. It's like decisions that you make are always going to fall back on you. But prior to you having this belief, it was like maybe your parents' fault or something like that. Do you think it was always the responsibility always fell on your shoulders?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
then what does that blame turn into now that you have this belief of figuring out what your world can be? I guess.
I don't think it was always me to blame. I don't also enjoy putting the blame on something else, but yeah, to some degree, uh, you don't know what you don't know, right? That's you tell me that a lot. Um,
Yes, sir.
so so that was kind of what I seen a lot was, people was fear. I seen a lot of fear, man. A lot of fear. And I didn't want to experience that. I didn't want to be victim to fear. So I did some things, but I wasn't blessed with the wisdom by having the experiences of how those things would turn out. So mhm.
I was gonna say, no, I'll save it. Go ahead. I want you to be able to tell the story.
so so I use fear as a motivator, and I did things that most might some might be afraid to do. But like I said, because I all I knew was fear, I didn't know what was standing on the other side of the experiences if I were to fail. So I didn't do the best. I didn't choose the best. I didn't make the best decisions in regards to you know what fear looked like. My interpretation of fear was you know was taking steps in the wrong directions. But
So what
mhm,
did failure look like?
failure
See, I
look
think
yeah.
really quick, uh, define it. Do diligence to yourself and the people around you, brother. Define what it means to you. Define what it means to others, and then sit at the table with it, and
Mhm.
then become a team with yourself and figure it out. But what did back to the original question? What did failure mean to you? Sorry.
No. That was beautiful, man. Failure, what it meant to me or what it looked like?
Now, what it meant, because before I
Failure.
interjected right there, you said what fear meant to you, what your definition of fear was. So, what
Mhm.
was your definition of failure?
Failure was feeling like I wasted time or feeling like now I was gonna have to waste time putting energy into something else just to get back to where I was or to get out of something. So the loss
Really
of
quick,
time. Mhm.
the loss of time. So, what does success look like to you? What's the definition of success for you?
The the gaining of time, to be in control of my time.
Question.
Mhm.
You were always in control of your time, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Even with the steps in the wrong direction, and even having failed, losing out on time because you took steps in the wrong direction and had to take steps back, like having to take, dropping something on the way to the front door, taking groceries in and something like that. You got to go back and pick it up. So you do have to go back and move forward. You know what I mean? Like, so is that failure and that fear still a part of the success?
So is the failure of losing time part of the success of gaining more time and being in control of it, or the illusion of
Well,
being in control of it?
I wouldn't say illusion. I'm just mean the whole concept of success. So what's your concept of success?
Well, that was my concept of success until you know, um,
So wouldn't that, I mean, wouldn't that fear and that failure still contribute to the success? Because I mean, brother,
yeah, yeah.
my okay. I mean,
Um,
you, in
so
my opinion, you made it. You
yeah,
know what I
yeah, yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Um, what success for me looks like?
did you accept that failure and that fear?
Not yeah, now I do, but then I didn't. And
Do you?
mm,
I'm sorry.
no, 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 no,
I got
no,
so
no,
many
no.
rapid questions because I want to wrap my brain around it and how you
Now
truly feel
you're
about this.
yeah, the questions I love when I love it because I do that. Not only do I always do that to you, but I enjoy it because steers me in the right direction. You know what I mean? You by asking these questions in the like it's steering me in the right direction.
Do you
Do you
do
ever
you
dream? What is it?
do you ever think you could that when you could that you could when you could if you could that you could have a dream that you could do anything? God bless them, man.
Yeah, man.
Uh, with all of that, you know, understood now and having experienced these things, do you think that contributed to your belief now?
Yeah, 100%.
Like this motivation, this ambition, this outlook on the world and people, and then of course the outlook on yourself.
Hmm. Because me wanting, not knowing what being a man was, not knowing, it's becoming more clear. It's going through those what I would call failure moments or those experiences in which I failed were what were the tools to make me what I imagine a man. And in order to be a man, you need to fail and do bad things. You need to be a bad boy. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the moral of the story. I
Yeah.
forgot what the question was, bro. The
I
fear
can't
was
remember either.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I do have a new question. Do you believe that who you are today, and I'll mention my slogan at the end of the episode, but
Perfect.
do you believe who you are today is a part of the road to becoming a man?
Yeah, yeah. I I do, man, because it's just for me. I imagine a man to be, the I don't know. For some reason, a man being a man to me is like the end result, like the end. Uh, like I relate being a man to all the male role models I've had in my life that there were such an impact, the things I look up to. And I always feel that because I'm not completely everything like them, I'm not I won't encompass the full definition of the word, um or the full ideology of what a man is. But I know that's not the case. Um
No, no.
yeah. But again,
Every man.
mm,
Well,
no, you about to say something cold.
now I was gonna say every man determines the value and the definition of a man himself.
Mm.
Like I didn't know what a man was until I was 16. Even though only thing me and my dad have in common is that we're both blunt and direct. Other than that, our virtues completely different, and as is with every other man on the planet.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty sure women feel the same exact way. There are values that you would love to see in yourself from your parents and your grandparents, et cetera, et cetera. But you determine what the type of human being you want to be is, and then you try your best to coincide with that, live amongst that idea.
Mhm.
That's it. That person in your head, you know what I mean? They're always something that you could strive to be a part of to some degree.
Yeah, I agree.
So how does that make you feel? Like you feel like you're on the road to becoming a man. How does that make you truly feel? Have you sat down and asked yourself that? Have you thought about it at all?
What I feel right now is it feels great, man. It feels like I'm 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 so comfortable. I'm so content with what I know, and I know that I'm gonna I'm gonna strive to be the best at what I have, and I accept what I have, and I can cherish it, and I can know, you know, the differences of of who I was then and who I am now. And I'm not really looking to the future to be anything else or be any way better. I just know that right now, I'm just gonna keep putting in the work, and it's enjoyable work because now I know what work I want to put in and what it is that I want to do. And I feel like I'm not trying to strive to be anything else as I did before when I when you just yeah. So now it's like it definitely brings me a sense of happiness, and I don't know if what that is that I'm getting to is oh, I'm finally a man now. But I know that it's it's knowing what you have, it's for me, it's knowing what you have, protecting it, and continuously building on that. Um, yeah, man. And just it makes me happy. I feel like I've never felt before. Um, Maybe it's because I've been a woman my whole life.
I'm proud of you, man.
Thank
I'm proud of you. I
you.
hope that whatever it is that you've come to know or believe or you know choose to embody, I hope that it continues to serve you well and it waters whatever soil and whatever seeds you're planting within yourself to become that man.
Mhm.
Personally, I don't believe that hunt, that chase, for some of us is a hunt, for some of us is a chase, for some of us is a dream, whatever the case may be. I'm not sure if it's truly ever actualized until we accept that our version of it is who we want to be and who we are. And some of us don't give ourselves that credit. And, that's why we get these people who are, so hard on themselves. And which is still a beautiful thing and that's motivating to be around. But I just hope whatever it is, man, is healthy for you and you continue to develop on it. It's a beautiful thing to see, dude.
That means the world, man, coming from you, bro. And that was beautifully put. It reminds me, I when I met this dude, man, phenomenal artist, just phenomenal human being, bro. So humble, so genuine, so intelligent. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not lying when I say this, bro. He looked like he reminded me so much. Everything the way he was reminded me of myself, but everything in the way he was reminded me of you, bro. Like the way the consideration for the people around him, the genuine like care, just the but also the knowledge and just the wisdom that he carried without even having to spread it. Just and he was a man of like he would just listen and he would allow you to speak, and then he would whenever like it was just I can't oh man, but he had so many he has a lot of he doesn't give himself enough credit, he doesn't, and it just blew my mind, bro. And I would consider him to be a man. I told him, I was like, bro, I look up to you and I just met you. You know what I mean? But it's for these reasons, and it's because I see so much in you that you may not see in yourself, and I know that that's a problem that I also have, and maybe a lot of people have as well. And that's why I don't see myself as a man, or I struggle to do that, is because I see everyone else, but I don't take the time to see, and it's crazy because we spoke about confidence. When we'll get to that soon, guys. But it's it's there's a lot of things in which we unconsciously just there's a lot of it's there's a lot of there's a lot of exposure everywhere, and you're gonna come encounter with a lot of other beings in this world that maybe have things in them that you strive to have, or are beautiful, and you don't realize that, oh wow, that beautiful trait that person has. I wonder, I want to work to that one day. I want to try and have that as well, because I think that'll go good. It's almost like collecting pins and badges. It's like, yo, I want to kind of be like that. I want to have that too. So that but we don't actually see ourselves, not everyone, but we don't actually see ourselves and appreciate the pins and badges that we do have that make us the version of whatever it is we are, that is also just as bright and is also just as beautiful and is also just as masculine, or just as feminine. And that is often the case for me, is that I I love the people that I come encounter with that are just beautiful people, man, whether it's internally, externally, whatever the case is. And I strive to be like that, opposed to actually looking in the mirror and seeing, like, you know what, um you have this and you have this, and it's beautiful, man. And that's what makes you, you know the thing that you kind of want to be. You're a unique version of that. But anyways, I'm a femboy.
You just can't help yourself.
Nah.
And that's okay. We all accept you for who you are. So I think we got about 10 minutes left here.
It didn't pop up yet, so
Okay. So
yeah,
uh,
it's probably gonna come up any second though.
I don't know, man. I think it's such a beautiful thing, and yet you're actively figuring it. Well, yeah, actively figuring it out. From my
Mhm,
point of view, you're
mhm.
actively figuring it out. I think you're taking the time that you need to assess the situation or situations whenever you do need it, and that's a beautiful thing, man. You're figuring it out, and that is what life is about. You're figuring it out day in and day out. And from what you said earlier, it sounds like the present is important to you, and
Yeah,
that's
man.
all there is.
Yeah, it's the present is actualizing, man, and I'm realizing it's been there the whole time. And yeah, I was always thinking future and past, future and past. That's why I felt like I wasn't in control, or I didn't have time in my corner. And like you said, success, the idea that success is the gaining of time or controlling time, but we've always had it. It's just like, you're right. The present has always been here, and I never showed up, and that was the problem.
So, what do you think are some of the contributing factors to you not showing up? What do you think drove that idea that you weren't showing up? What do you think contributed to that?
Um, I would say seeing things in this world that I didn't enjoy, wanting not to relive that, so doing everything to avoid that, which then became my past, and then striving to be everything but that, which then became a future, and just doing everything I could to dodge the past and get as close to the future as fast as possible. Um, and then whenever I had time to be present, I was trying to either reliving or over calculating, and that made for an uh a non enjoyable experience.
Were you stretching yourself thin with the idea of the past, like living in your past?
I I did, man, for a good portion of my life was living in my past and then avoiding it, and then a good portion which led into just um a lot of unhealthy lifestyles, and then trying to reach the future which I had in mind um led to just me living in an unrealistic living with an unrealistic view, and so I stretched myself thin either way. So my only alone time, or my only time to not be in any of those, um was just looking in the mirror and seeing what I was, knowing that I might be more like the past than I am the future, and that eating me up. And then just so the only time I had presently was just reflecting, and what I saw I didn't enjoy because I was always my past and my future, but never my future.
So two things.
Mm.
Uh, well, maybe one thing now. Do you think that reflection and what you saw was didn't make you feel happy about your future? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Do you think that took you away from your present? And do you
Mhm.
think that what you existed and those in that present time, do you believe whatever you were experiencing was better than whatever it was you were reflecting on in the first place? So those two different things: reflecting, taken away from your future, and reflecting, taken away or belittling the experience you had in that present.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, my reflecting took away from my future, and my present all the time. And then yep,
Go ahead,
and then
continue
and
to
then
elaborate.
and then it also affected, what was the other one? Uh it was a
Taken away from your future and then affecting your
yeah.
present, or belittling the experience you had in that present.
Yeah, it did because it just ate it up, you know? It wasn't a time where I could be content with, okay, um it was strange, man. It there was no work really being done. Um and it was a
Yes, I do.
mentality. It was a mentality. And that's what I'm coming to realize is that it's not about, having everything written down and knowing what to do, or running from this, or not being this, or how to not be that, or how to get here. It's a mentality. And my frame of mind was always compromised, and I was never actually putting in the work. All the work that had to be done was in things that would not benefit my true future to who I was, knowing that the way I was wired, I know that none of that stuff would actually bring in a desired, enjoyable experience. But that's what I believed was the future that could bring these things that I desired. Uh, um,
Another two questions. I, I got them. So continue to elaborate if you will.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was I was always compromised. So even being, running away from the past, and then over calculating for the future, and then with the present time that I had, I was and looking in the mirror trying to, and not enjoying what I was, or because it wasn't about, what I needed to do in the physical world. It wasn't about, the ideas of success that I had, or the idea of fear in the past. It was, it was just a mentality that I needed to understand and come to see, but I couldn't, because my mind was always occupied and the other things that
So,
were just unhealthy.
so I was going to just ask you really quick.
Yeah.
Um, what do you think kept you going back to reflection? Was there comfort in self-reflection or reflecting on the past, or because sometimes I mean I'm not sure if it was you. What are you reflecting on? You don't have to really elaborate on that too much if you don't want.
Mhm.
But what are you reflecting on? Are you reflecting on the experiences, the events, other people? Are you reflecting on yourself, who you used to be? Was there, and then secondly, more importantly, was there comfort in reflection to any degree? Was there comfort?
Um, the reflection was who I was. Um, who I was and the
Did you feel you were a better man
when in general, like at the in present time,
at that present time? You were reflecting. Did you think that the person you used to be was better than who you were?
at sometimes, yeah. Well, often,
Okay.
yeah. Um, I
Oh, okay. So that would be a contributing.
yeah.
That'd be a reason to reflect.
So
Like,
I
man, I
was
used to be so much better.
yeah,
People, you hear older people do that all
yeah,
the time.
yeah. I was reflecting on who I was, but the who I was and where I was not a healthy combination. I was so bright because I was in such a dark place, so I knew I had to be bright. Um, so I was reflecting on who I was and what I could have been. So there was the even what I could have been if I would have chose, if and then I start reliving the past and being, and just, and that person's not here no more. Those ideas, those roads that could have been paved are non-existent. Um, so but I didn't enjoy the path that I took to get to where I was. So I didn't enjoy who who I was when I looked in the mirror. Or
So really quick. Earlier, you were saying that your mindset was compromised. What were you doing to protect the mindset outside of the the fractures?
I
I'm
was
not
trying.
sure if that is a
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
correct term. That I can use that term
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you
in
can.
regards to the compromise. Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah, so what were you doing to protect that?
once I became aware, I was trying to meditate, trying to work on positive affirmations, um, trying to speak to a higher power and build a connection. Um, but there was a lot of resentment in my heart, man, and in my mind. So it was a difficult process.
And what was the resentment for? Was it a resentment for the deity? Was the
The,
resentment for yourself, for other people? What was the resentment for?
yeah, all three. Um,
Okay. I I think subconsciously I put this rubric together in my mind of how I should think uh every decade. And that has helped me become the person I am today. I always said and I love to believe that you are who you always were. And with that knowledge, from my self declared knowledge and experience, that has helped me limit the conversations I have with myself and with other people for, just doing my due diligence. I don't want to have conversations that are I don't know, daunting, like death.
mm,
Death. There's people I have to talk to about death. I got a book here on trust. You know what I mean? And the people I want to talk to about possibly taking over the trust, they don't want to have those conversations. And it's something I like to have. I like to think I have the luxury of living in another 10 years to be able to finally have that conversation. That's the timer. But I know for a fact life can be going in a heartbeat. So it's a conversation that needs to be had, and I feel like a lot of people in my life that I'm so close to and I need to be having these conversations with run away from it. So God willing, I live to see my 40s. Hopefully, I'm able to have those conversations with them people, and hopefully they're ready to have those conversations, no matter how much I want to bring it up. Always getting kicked out of the room or something like that, or oh, that ain't the vibe. That's what I'm saying, like trying to, I'm not trying to manipulate energy or anything like that, but I don't want to leave my people behind with nothing. I don't want um I don't. It's just so much that to unpack there, dude. Because everybody's just afraid to have simple conversations, man. And that's one of them. And the rest of those books are one of them. Every one of them is a conversation that needs to be had over weeks, months at a time. And just people ignoring conversations, man. So now I don't think you talk too much. I don't think. Um, I do think I talk a lot, but often at times I think I'm just talking to the wrong people too much.
Mm.
And that coincides with my earlier statement, man. Is I check my ego. I read the room. I read the environment. Make sure that I'm doing my due diligence to myself before I push that energy outward anywhere else. Before I get to say, "What you mean?" Before I start asking really important questions to people. Before I have to cut them off and not talk to them for a couple of years. You need to do right by yourself. You need to do your due diligence. You're not about to use me as a crutch to not do that, to not check yourself. People keep trying to pull me back in their life in order to do that, to use me as a crutch. And just to be able to say, Jeff did this. That's why I did this. You know what I mean? Instead of I did this, Jeff had a little bit to contribute to that, but ultimately I did this. Right? One is placing blame, another one is taking full accountability. You know, but yeah, a lot of people will manipulate their environment, their life, and their life situations, circumstances, problems, successes, and contribute so much to other people rather than doing the due diligence to themselves, fact checking themselves, ego checking themselves, and putting themselves in their place, man. And that's unfortunate because that takes away the time from us having these conversations, real conversations. So yeah, to wrap it back up and to bring it back to the original point, I think I restrict myself to these topics, these type of conversations that I can have with other people, decade by decade, and Living Trust would be one of them. Hopefully, before these other people are ready to man up and put on those big boy, big girl pants and have those type of conversations. Don't leave your kids behind with nothing. Don't leave your wife, your girlfriend, your friends, your family, your mom if they still living, whoever. Don't leave them behind with nothing. With memories. That's good. That's good. But know you can help them even from beyond the grave. You know, and that's something that's intangible, in my personal opinion, and that's legacy, brother. Anywho, moving on, protecting that mindset, bro.
A lot of times you say things that I don't even have questions for because they resonate so deeply, man. And it's just I get it and I understand. And all I can say is I agree. And yeah, I just want you to know that that's where that comes from. Is that I get stumbled
Uh,
sometimes and just I have nothing to follow up.
It's such a meme now, though.
Yeah,
It doesn't. It's such a meme, dude. It
but
doesn't mean
sometimes
what it should mean
yeah,
sometimes.
sometimes there's times where I'm not listening, and then that also
Facts.
yeah. It's like
That's the case, and that's why I say I talk too much. I talk too much, and now what I do with people that if I really care about them, and I'm like in their presence, and I find myself talking too much about something that I shouldn't be talking about, or they not, I know they're not ready to talk about. I'd be like, "Shut up, Jeff. Shut up, Jeff," and then I'll start smiling, and I'll just go, silent, like I just go silent. Bro. Shut up, Jeff.
I love it though, man, because I like we talked about earlier, man. I enjoy the experiences of these types of things. So whenever you spewing, bro, I just be enjoying because I know it's like you in your element, man. There's truth coming out. There's you're not just speaking. You don't. You're often, as we can see, you're often, short, to the point, boom, and calculated. So whenever you there's moments where you're going off, I like to let it happen because it's like, oh man, like this is passion. There's either passion behind this or there's you're not wasting your breath. So and then you often any question I may have to follow up with that, if I'm not immediately like cutting you off, you're answering these questions as they're coming to me, and then I have nothing. And then by the time you wrap it all up, it's like, all right, well, you know. Um, but yeah, man, I love it, man. I love it. I agree. That's what you supposed to say. I agree.
I agree. I agree. It's a meme. Dude. It's a meme, man. All right, so back to this, man. Protecting that mindset. You were saying how you protect that mindset when you became aware that you need to nurture yourself to a degree. Uh,
Mhm.
just having time to yourself. When do you do that now?
Now I protect it because I've learned and I've been blessed to have the assistance of you and just some of the beautiful people I encounter, man. Whether it's for minutes, for hours, for days, for years. It's I cherish those things and now I know to protect them. It was an idea to protect them, but I didn't know how, and I didn't know that it even needed to be protected or that I was the enemy. That I could possibly be the enemy. Allowing it to be exposed so freely, and even myself. I say compromising a lot, but compromising that frame of mind. Um, Yeah, did you have a
So
follow-up question?
I did. Now bringing it back to the road of becoming a man, have you? I understand that this. I'm not sure how fresh this is for you or how old this is for you, but have you had the conversation with your partner about their developed expectations of you or for you and for you guys as a relationship?
Develop.
Because it's probably yeah, because it's they probably had expectations of you before you were on this journey. And now
Mhm.
that you're on this journey, I'm pretty sure that it's evident to them because they're around you the most. It's obvious they can see changes in you. So do you think they developed new expectations? And then have you had the conversation with them about new expectations they may have of you or
Mhm.
developed expectations?
Yeah, I haven't been able to have those conversations because most of our um relationship, the expectation was just to get well, like the get well, just smile, just enjoy the world more, enjoy your life more, and just be healthy, mentally and just so that was the expectation. But once I excelled those expectations and I am now God in her eyes, it's kind of difficult to have the no 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 no.
Now that you are, I ain't even gonna get into that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How does it make you feel in this pursuit or this vision or this
Mm.
newfound, I guess, belief or ambition or whatever this is, epiphany, this moment? How does it feel today?
It feels great, man. It feels yeah, man. I finally have an idea of where I want to go or what it is. Oh wow, this is what I am. Or this is what the realization of this is what I am, or the actual it coming to, like actualizing, and then it resonating, and then like I'm doing what I am, and I know what I am, and this feels good, and I have control of what I will become and how I want to be. And it's not now the outside factors of my day-to-day experience don't really tamper with that because I know that that's I guess in a sense where you are as well is not giving everything else an like an unlimited amount of exposure to what you are. Once you find out what you are, not, putting it everywhere and not, being protective. You've brought that to light for me. And yeah, man, it
That
feels.
ain't all on me, bro. That ain't all on me, man.
I know,
I'm
man, but
just a vessel delivering some type of information to you through whatever matrix you exist in.
mhm,
But it's up to you to be receptive to that. That's what the entire universe is doing at all times. But you yourself, should take full advantage of the fact that you allowed yourself to be receptive to whatever it is that your experience gave you, which is this today, and hopefully it continues to treat you well. Sorry to cut you off there.
no, I appreciate that, man. I know, I know.
I know
Um,
you got this thing for not giving yourself credit, man, but there's so many people out there who don't allow themselves to be receptive because of fear, because of failure, and because of the fact that they haven't determined what success is to themselves. So just wanted to throw that out there.
I love that. That's beautiful, man. I know that. I know that people are gonna enjoy that. Um,
Don't be afraid.
yeah,
To all of them people, do not be afraid, man. You got people out here that love you, don't even know you, but will check themselves consistently so they don't impede on your process. So yeah, don't be afraid.
I love that.
Back to you though.
Nah, that would have been a good part to end it too, though.
Really
For
quick,
me,
what do you
I'm
think
afraid.
it took?
Um,
What do you think it took to get here?
it took all of it. It took all of it, and just like you said, the failures or whatever, you don't think that's part of the success, and yeah, it is. It took all of that. It may not been, to my liking. Have I just disappointed a lot of people on the way? Yeah, man, because I know there were a lot of expectations that and me not giving myself credit, you know, uh, 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 fed into that disappointment. Me not, come on, dude, like getting to it and finding it out, not necessarily finding it out sooner because, but still, it all led up to this. And do I wish there was less disappointment, that I didn't let some people down, that I didn't overfeed, you know, into certain things and certain people, that I didn't. Yeah, man, I wish things could have wound up differently, but I'm grateful that that it happened, for whatever mistakes or whatever, you know, whatever alleys I took, whatever shortcuts or whatever it was that put me in a place that I wasn't expecting to be, or I didn't enjoy being in. It brought me finally here, and I'm grateful to actually even be here. And I owe it to a lot of people, but I also owe it up to myself for finally showing up. Like you said, to be able to be receptive, and like you said, man, it's I want to remind people that not only show up to yourself for yourself, but actually see, man, what you're able to bring to the table, what you are, and appreciate that, man, whatever way you can. Um, and it's just it feels, I can't use any other word, man, but it feels good, man, and I'm happy and I'm excited for the journey, but I'm not necessarily even looking to the journey. I'm just I'm just excited to feel the way I feel, and I
That's
and yeah, yeah.
thanks for having me today, man. I'm Jeff with Art Academy.
And I'm Carlos, and it's been an honor, man. I appreciate you, bro.